Hey guys, this is Cy, and welcome to an episode of My Best Friend is a Soldering Iron?
It takes a lot to make a stew.
A pinch of salt and laughter too.
A scoop of kids to add the spice.
A dash of love to make it nice. And you've got
Too many cooks.
In all seriousness, this is my N64 portable. I call it the Cyxty 4 because G-Man calls his G-Boy a G-Boy and his G-Wee a G-Wee, so I have the right to call something I put a ton of hours into what I want, and that's the name I like. I like that it plays off the 64 title, but so what this is, it's an N64 portable, obviously, and it is based upon the Retro Brawler, Retro Fighters Brawler 64 controller. This is nice because it's a more modern layout, and Wesk took 3D scans, a community member Wesk, he took 3D scans of this controller, and he uploaded them to the forums. I saw that, and I thought, you know what? This is what I'm going to base my N64 portable off of. So, this is a nice controller. It's not perfect. It has a couple of things like this analog gate isn't perfect to the original. I actually corrected that on mine, and I'll show that a little bit later, a little bit of a side-by-side. But, so you notice how this has a start button right down the middle, and if I'm going to stretch this controller, obviously, like I did, what am I going to do with the start button? Well, I consider turbo and clear to be unnecessary features. They're nice bonus features, but they're unnecessary, and so what I did is I just made it so these are both start buttons. So now, instead of just having dual Z buttons, like here and here, we have dual start buttons. You can pause the game with either hand. Unnecessary, but I like it. And this is my portable, so if I like it, then, I mean, I don't know. I think that's what's important. So I corrected the analog gate here. I'll show. You can see a side-by-side. This is the original Retro Brawler on the left, and you can see mine on the right. I don't have an N64 controller in my room right now, so I'm not going to really show the difference, but I've shown pictures of it before, and I can show another picture in my thread of how this is corrected. And I find that this is just a much, much better experience than using the Retro Brawler's analog gate. So anyways, yeah, we've got the D-pad, which feels great, and it works pretty darn well. There's not really much with misinterpreting inputs. There's obviously the C buttons, which are a really nice thing about having an N64 portable. Something you don't get with emulation is, you know, actual proper C buttons. So I like that a lot about this portable. The buttons all feel really great, and this controller, it feels like a stretched Brawler controller. It feels really great in hands. So features. This has, obviously, there's the power button right here. There's the RGB LED just under the power button, so, you know, you can look while you're turning it on, and you'll see, oh, you know, I've got, it's turned on. I can see, because just press the button, and there's the light. Right next to it, we've got reset button right here, and then we've got screen power right here. Now, why would I need a screen power button? Well, we'll get to that. Now, this is a fan exhaust with a heatsink that's very, very slightly filed down. There's USB right here, which works as a controller and video and audio pass-through for video, audio, and controller input out for all four players. So you can do 4-player multiplayer as if this is as if it's an original N64. I've got the breakout box right here. It's just USB pass-through. It's got a custom cable for let me just move this so I can show this off a little bit better. We've got a custom video cable that plugs in here just to keep it all separate, so we don't have a million, you know, things hanging out from this box. Just a detachable custom video cable here with composite input. I'll show this in action later, but I'll show it in detail just how it works now. This goes right here, and then your controllers plug into here. And I went with blue filament for this, Prusament Royal Blue, because the USB 3.0 thing I got was blue. So I figured I may as well match the plug. So yeah, that's how that all works. Because there's 10 pins in USB 3.0, we've got 3 wires for audio left, audio right, and composite video out. Shielded wires at that, very heavily shielded. Lots of shielding throughout this entire, not this, but in the entire portable, there's shielding out the wazoo. And then yeah, we just got this, which goes to here. This plugs into the portable, and that gives you controller support. So anyways, so yeah, that's the I/O. We got charging right here. Obviously, we've got the cartridge slot. Let me turn it over for you, and you can see I kind of stole a little bit of geometry from Nicholas here. I stole the opening. Shoutouts to him for on his N64 HH. He did a really nice job modeling the opening for this. So now, when a game goes in, let me hold that back for you a little. Now, when a game goes in, you can easily see the label. It's a really nice aesthetic touch, personally, I think. Something else that I really like about this portable, a really cool feature in my opinion that I wish I were on more portables, is we've got this battery door that screws on. So there's a 21700, which I haven't gotten the battery life calculated yet. I haven't really done a full proper test, but I've gotten well over an hour of battery life and still had around half-ish battery life. So I believe this thing will get around 2 hours, maybe just under, with a single 21700 cell. And let's just say you need more battery life. Well, first off, if you really want to, you can charge and play if you have your charger on hand and maybe you don't have extra battery cells or a screwdriver handy. And if you do have a screwdriver handy and a charged battery cell, you can easily swap this out with a charged battery cell. I did label the polarity in this with a Sharpie, so you're not going to mix that up and totally fry the unit. And then, of course, other features. Features. The feature creep on this project was real. We got volume wheel here. I could have gone with the N64 digital audio amp, but I decided to go with the UAMP's analog audio and the N64's analog audio because I wanted to have a volume wheel for volume controls, and the analog audio really doesn't sound bad. So I'm not much of an audiophile myself. We've got a headphone jack. You really can't see that. You can't really tell that that's a headphone jack. I mean, the lighting shows it, but so we've got Apple Beat. And we've got a switch here, which switches player 1 controller from the internal controller to the TV, the breakout boxes controller when you want to play on the TV. Or if you just want to use this as a portable monitor, because it does stand up by itself. I don't even really need a stand for it. And then we've got a composite video switch, which makes the composite video switch between the two happen. And you don't need it by any means. You can have it playing on both screens at the same time. But it does retain the image quality just a little bit more. It retains the original image a little bit better with this. So now what's this slit here? Is this a micro SD, or not micro SD, a regular SD card slot for an EverDrive or something? No, this is a fan intake. And the fan, so the cooling design, the air goes in through here, if the camera would focus. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So it goes in through here. The air goes in through here, and then it goes upwards about 1 millimeter or 2, and it goes upwards a tiny bit, and then it goes forwards through this heatsink right here, through a little bit of a tunnel. It goes through to this heatsink. There's another heatsink right here, and it's opened, and it's like basically making contact with the heatsink. So the RCP right here, the CPU, and the RAM. Well, actually, no, this is the RAM. This is the RCP, or not, this is the CPU, and then this is the RCP where the fan is over. Those all stay very cool from what I've gathered in this. Granted, it's not like groundbreakingly cool. Like you can still feel, if you take a game out after playing for a while, if you take the game out and turn this off, then you can still feel the heat from this onto, like, on the back here. But so yeah, enough chit chat. Let's show a game working. Let's go with some go with some good old Banjo-Tooie here. I didn't grow up with Banjo-Kazooie, but I did grow up with Banjo-Tooie, so that was kind of a weird one for me. I never knew why it was called Banjo-Tooie. It just didn't seem... It didn't make a ton of sense to me, but we don't question these things as children. So if I just press and hold the power button for 2 seconds, if the camera will focus, that is. Let me turn the audio up so you can actually hear it. I'll bring this in so you can see. I love that contrast. I always love that opening jingle. Can show the joystick working here. Works without any problems. I don't know how loud this audio is. I hope it's coming through and it's not like busting your eardrums out. In fact, I'll turn it down there just so you can hear me talking. So yeah, got some good old N64 action going here with a fully charged battery. I need to do a battery life test, so I don't want to play this for real long, and I want to charge the battery back up to full, so that way I can do a proper battery life test. But yeah. It's hard to play through the camera, but harder than it looks, believe me. Like, not the game, but playing through a camera. So yeah, we got that. And this does have a built-in expansion pack. You're going to have to take my word for that, though, because I don't think I have a game in my room right now that requires the expansion pack. But I can probably show that working in a little bit. But here we got... come on. There's the cartridge slot. So yeah, here we got... I can't really tilt the camera, but we got Diddy Kong Racing here. Just looks so good having that exposed. Serious shout-outs to Nicholas for that. So yeah, we got Diddy Kong Racing. Let's demo that a little bit. I don't want this video to go too long because, you know, people's attention spans are only so long, and maybe it's not attention span so much as it is just patience, but I want to do a thorough job of showcasing my work. And if you don't want to watch the whole video, you can skip around it. Don't be afraid to do that, obviously. Just do a little bit of a gameplay demo here. Speaking of controller pack, this does have a built-in controller pack that does not require a battery. So, games like Lego Racers and I'm trying to think of other games. I know this game does have a little bit of controller pack like required. It has a little bit of a requirement for like saving your best times, like Mario Kart does. But or like Quest 64 is a really good example of one that requires the control pack. That one actually requires it for like all your save data. So it's kind of a big deal, bigger deal than people realize to include a controller pack in your portable. I designed a custom circuit board for it, so big enough deal for me to do that at least. Let's see if I can beat WizPig here. I'm still not used to the controls on this thing. I'm not used to the controls of the Retro Brawler in general. It feels a little foreign compared to the N64 controller to me, but the N64 controller was really, it would have been really awkward and difficult to create an Ishida-style portable with it. Like, it can be done, I'm sure, but I just don't understand how you would. I really don't get what you would do. Like, what, do we just have this third prong going out the middle under the screen, or, like, what are we doing with that? It's just my thoughts. I don't mean to... I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but I just think this gives you the best results, and you get, like, the original... Not an original, but you get a better than original joystick that's not going to wear out on you. You win you win with this kind of a design. It's just a good design. The N64 was a little, it was in its infancy, you know? 3D was in its infancy at the time, so having a joystick that actually, I personally, I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to like the N64 joystick. If I make it portable, I'm going to put an original joystick for the N64 into it if I can fit it. An original one doesn't fit into this portable, so I didn't put it in there in this one. And besides, it's a retro brawler, so I'm going to keep it true to the original design, but yeah. So yeah, there's Diddy Kong Racing. Real quickly, since it's just going to play like the credits sequence or whatever. This is the reset button in action. So you can see the game's clearly reset. And if I turn the audio up a good bit, I'll showcase that screen power does work. So you can still hear the game running. And this does mean that this portable has a built-in blindfolded mode for all you blindfolded SM64 speedrunners out there. Jokes aside, so yeah, this is for video out. So you save a bit of your power draw, and obviously if I just, you know, turn the screen back on, we can watch the Diddy Kong Racing demo. And yeah. So yeah, that's my N64 portable. I'm not going to conclude the video just yet because I want to show video out working, and I'll talk a little bit about like why I chose composite video out, because I was thinking about doing HDMI. That was the original point, the original idea, but we'll get to that here in a moment. All right, so a couple additional things here. You can't really see it, but there's the Nintendo logo. I can't really turn my camera. I wish I could, but then I'd be able to show how much the cartridges stick out. They don't stick out much. It looks really nice having this like Nintendo logo. It really gives this portable a feeling of authenticity. But actually, let me show pulling a cartridge out from the front side here. So you got plenty of grip on this, and it just pulls right out. And then so I'm going to demo the expansion pack here just to kind of showcase that games like Majora's Mask and Donkey Kong 64 work pretty much without any problems on this thing. And so yeah, Majora's Mask, there it is with its cool 3D effect. Now if I turn on the console, as you can see, the game boots right up. Turn the volume up a little here. So yeah, you can see this game works without any problems. No problems at all. Everything's working. I'm going to go ahead and save it the owl statue so I don't waste any more time on this cycle. But expansion pack game working without any problems. There are other N64 EverDrive homebrew things that you can use that showcase the expansion pack in action as well, or that maybe, you know, require or use the expansion pack. So that's kind of a nice feature to just have, even if it does draw a bit more power. Next, I'm going to show video out. But before I do that, let's just appreciate that this thing stands without a stand, really. It just sits up nicely. There's a little bit of a print flaw in this. I should probably print another back door to this and maybe print it so that the supports aren't here, so that this has this ugly, weird finish on it. But, you know, that's all post-processing, sort of post-build stuff, post-build criticism. So next I'm going to show video out working on a CRT. Alright, so this is 4-player multiplayer working. You can probably see the portable over there, although I don't know how well you can actually see the image on screen. But here we have, like, yeah, let me just change it, so make it so that you can probably see the miniature screen all the way over there. So you can see that things are, like, updating the same way. It's probably kind of hard to make out, but, that's what This is obviously what, this is obviously what the screen power button's for, if you want it. But, I mean, if I can just showcase this real quickly here. You got the same frames going on, oh, that's the wrong controller. I didn't pause with that controller. Let me find the controller I paused with. There we go. So yeah, you can see, the game is, I wanted to show all the cables connected so you could see this is all connected properly, and, boy, they really need to, be quiet with that, wrong way BS. But, yeah, you can see that it's the same image on both things. And if I go to power this off, you know, we save our battery current. So yeah. This was my N64 portable, the Cyxty. I don't think I could be much more proud of my work. Obviously, some things could have been done better. Not everything on it's perfect, but I mean, just for a side-by-side comparison here. Here you got the original Brawler. Here you got the retro Brawler. And it feels great in the hands. It feels just like a retro Brawler. Like I said, some things could have been done better. There are some flaws in the case in terms of either printing or 3D modeling, but for my first portable, or my first, to be clear, this is my first, not my first ever portable, but my first original portable, I would say that I'm very, very satisfied and very, very happy of it. The fact that I was able to keep the body to like this size without the cartridge slot, and then, you know, add the cartridge slot in later and everything. It's like 58 millimeters in thickness. So yeah, I am very, very, very happy with how this has come out. Thank you all for watching, and I want to give a serious thanks to the community for helping me with this. I want to thank you, Vettel Griffin, G-Man, Crazy Gadget, so many people. I'm not going to remember all the people, but I will try to mention you guys in the threads. Thank you so much for all your help, every one of you. You guys are awesome. I would have never been able to pull this off without you guys. And oh, one more feature I'll go over that this portable has. This has an undervolt going on. We have undervolted the 3.3 volt rail to 2.8 volts, I believe. Like, I think it's just over 2.8 volts, just slightly over, because I ended up having to stack resistors, and the resistor value wasn't exact, so it's a imperfect science, if you will, imperfect measurement. But so we'll never know what the exact voltage going on inside this thing is, but we know it's like 2.8-ish, 2.82, maybe a little bit higher. But yeah, should get around 2 hours of battery life, and if you need more battery life, you can charge. And if you don't, or if you have extra battery cells and you don't want to be tethered, you can just replace the battery. And I do have an external battery charger, so you can charge a battery while this thing is discharging while you're playing. So you can charge a battery without having the battery plugged in, and you can just swap them out. And yeah, this thing is awesome. I couldn't be happier with it. One more design choice I'll go over, because I keep forgetting things. I didn't script this video, as you can tell. Why did I go with composite video over HDMI? Well, you can use an HDMI converter for composite, and yeah, I know that isn't the greatest solution ever. I'm not a videophile, though, and to me, being able to play on a CRT, that's big. I would rather play on a CRT with composite than have this clean HDMI video signal going to a modern display. Honestly, it feels more original, and it's more nostalgic to me. That's just me. I'm sure we all have our opinions, and that's fine, obviously. So yeah, couldn't be happier with how this thing's turned out. It's not perfect, but this is about as good as it gets, at least in my opinion. So thank you all again, and thanks for watching.